Hello everybody, welcome back to Waffles RC. Today we will be getting back on the trailer. We have a bunch of wheels and tires to make for this thing. Well, put together. I don't know why I did quotes, don't ignore me. Anyhow, for those of you who celebrate it, hope yesterday Thanksgiving was very good. Hope you all enjoyed time with your family and friends. For the rest of the world that doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Friday. On the list for today on the trailer, we'll be getting the wheels and tires on and axles or whatever I'm going to create for that. And if you can possibly see, you can see it right there, truck's all taken apart. I just welded everything, that's why it's sitting there and upside down. So because of that being taken apart, it's all kind of guesswork and just on the trailer. Still have to grind all the welds off of that thing, but then after that, that's going to get started on getting it painted. That'll be interesting to say the very least. I want to thank everybody for all the nice comments. I love this community that we've started here. You guys just make every day and make doing all this that much better. So thank you all very much. So let's get started on putting a bunch of tires together. So I have a few wheels and tires to assemble. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, there we go. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you all with putting these together, but these are for the 14 scale. We have our dually wheels, hub, tires. They're 25 millimeter tall tires, so I went with as tall as I could. They had 22s, but I wanted a little bit taller. Some nice road tires, you know. And as you can see, I have a lot because low boys have a lot of wheels and tires on the back of them. So it's very simple. You put the tire on the wheel, and these are non-bead locks, so they have to go in these grooves right here. So I'm going to learn from my mistakes of my last trailers. I'm actually going to glue them on, so that way they don't just de-bead all the time. So I'm going to get to work, and you guys will be back when I'm done with all of this. So while I'm here attempting to glue the wheels to the tires, but mostly just gluing myself to everything in sight, I wanted to say a few things. First and foremost, this little channel, I've had this channel for a little over a year now. We have 7,000 subscribers. Now that's a lot of subscribers for less than a year, based on everything that I've seen. May not be the highest number, but this group of people right here, they all understand exactly how I feel. Why not make your own? Why not do it for cheaper? You don't have to have a $3,000 rock crawler. You can have a $500 rock crawler, and it's just fine. But the main thing is that all the comments, everybody in here is just a great group of people. Everybody's nice, everybody's kind, and that's what I wanted from this channel. So thank you all for 7,000 subscribers and for constantly watching me set myself on fire and now glue myself to everything. The other thing I wanted to say, just to kind of give you guys a little perspective of what I do with this channel. Obviously I build RCs, but I don't know if any of you noticed, but I don't use any bad words. I don't cuss, I don't bleep anything out, don't do any of that, because, well, I do have a potty mouth, to be honest. But the reality is, I'm making toys, and there are kids who watch. So I don't want parents to have to regulate what their kids are watching when it comes to RC stuff, just because I use bad language. And you guys are also quite respectful in the comments, and you don't use bad language very often. Few people have, but it's, you know, can't control everybody. That's not how the world works. But case in point, for people who have kids that watch this channel, the first person will be Jameson. You know who you are. Not that you've never heard any bad words come out of me or your parents, but we try. Okay. The other person, Vegas J, he left a comment saying that he watches it with his kid, and now his kid wants to build an RC because his kid watches the channel. He watches it too. And that's awesome. I mean, not for Vegas J's wallet, but I can separate myself from that. But his kid, on the other hand, I bet you anything, he loves it. So thank you, Vegas J, and to your child. Reality is, without you guys, I'm just some guy in his garage gluing himself to a wheel and tire combo because he doesn't have the right tools. But he's still attempting to glue stuff. Just wanted to throw all that out there, and thank you all very much. Once again, 7,000 subscribers. Absolutely awesome. Thank you guys. I'm gonna glue myself to more of these, and we'll be back once they're all done. Okay, well that was done with varying degrees of success. See how round they are once it starts rolling. Put enough weight on it to all round out. Axle wise, trailer here is quite wide. They don't make non-driven axles wide enough. So basically I have these cheapo trailer axles, and what the plan is to cut it off right here and right here, and take right at the leaf perches, put them right up against each other, and put the wheels, 2 sets of duals on each side. I'll have 4 of those. What I don't know is how these bearings in here are held in, how deep in they go. So this is my sacrificial one, and I'm going to cut it and hope that there isn't anything inside of here, because then my plan just goes right out the door. Let's cut this and see. I went and got more cutoff wheels, so this should actually work. It'd work better if it was plugged in. Very nice. The plan is going to work, as long as I don't lose every single one of these pins. See if that helps. So quick tip, with these ones, they just have a little pin that's kind of pressed in there to hold the wheel nut on. Put some tape over it, and these are aluminum. When you're cutting aluminum, wear good thick gloves. These get very hot. All right, once again, for scale, this is the back of the trailer. The tongue of the trailer is on the ground right now. So what I have created is this. Cut it nice and short, got a metal plate on there, bolted it through. So the goal with this is that one will be here, 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 and here. Hopefully you saw any of that because it's black. I'm wearing a black shirt. There's gonna be 4 of these. And what I'm gonna do, use a bar that ties the front one to the back one, then have a pivot so that these axles will pivot up and down like a seesaw. Let's make 4 more of these. Keep on going. that's basically the end goal. This is its own axle, own axle, own axle, own axle. I'm going to put a bar between them and then somehow going to make them pivot. I haven't figured that out yet, but it's all a work in progress. And I will say, this thing is very hard to work on because I have to have the whole bench cleared off almost. Well, except for the tools that I need. Hammer, most important tool of any of these builds. Everything has to be clear just to work on this trailer. And if you were ever wondering what the parts pile looks like for just the semi itself, that's all just a semi. Just the axles, basically everything that made it rolling. All of that right there. So that'll be fun to put back together. So let me attempt to do some math, otherwise known as guessing, and figure out how to make this work and hopefully go straight. And here we are as I drop it, because it's kind of warm. Just welded it. So this is our axle, or whatever it's called. I should really Google it and actually call it by its correct name. But anyhow, so what it's going to do, sit like this and pivot like that. The frame will be what limits it, but I'll have to figure out ride height, some arms that come up, so that way this thing can bolt in there and just pivot its little heart out. This one will be the exact same way. But as per usual, street lights are on. Time to go inside. See you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We are back and just gonna get straight into it. So as we left off last night, you saw that I built the axle carrier, I guess you would call it. I made those. I will say also, if you're trying to do this at home, the hex nut likes to stick inside of the wheels and it doesn't fit right. So I expertly used my bench grinder and ground down all the surfaces. So now the wheels and tires will actually come out of it. I already did it to this one, did it to both of them with the bench grinder. So now the goal is to center these up, try and get them straight. Then take this flat stock, it's going to weld underneath, then do a through bolt through right here to both sides. So I'll have one there, and that way this can pivot like I want it to. Let me cut and drill a bunch of stuff and we'll be back, and hopefully this will all be on there as straight as I can possibly make it. Okay, it's been a minute, but I, needed to eat lunch and stuff, but here we are. 2, well, I guess 4 axles, but 2 in line. I think that's how they do it in real life. Honestly, don't know, but this is how I'm going to do it. I know they have lots of tires, so there, lots of tires. But now the next thing that I want to do is tow it to see if it actually goes, straight. Kind of the hopes of a trailer. Nothing super tight yet, but I want to get a basic idea in case I need to fix something. But there's one rather large issue. The tow vehicle is kind of taken apart. It's not going to be very good at towing. So let's improvise. Rear steer is not that conducive to towing a trailer that is 8 times longer than the RC that's pulling it. But the trailer towed straight, and that's what matters. So let's carry on. you can't break out one of your crawlers just to demonstrate that it can pull a trailer and not play around with it. What do you expect of me? I build these things to play with them. So I got distracted. Let's get back to the trailer. The next thing I'm going to do is make the rear ramps basically just something for lights to sit in and something for vehicles to, well, crawl over. I'm going to go look at some pictures, see what they look like, and I'll try to replicate it. See what happens. Alright, so I'm back quicker than normal. I haven't done anything. And the reason is I probably should have Googled axles and stuff for a lowboy before I made all these axles and spent all this money on tires, because kind of unnecessary. And this is not going to be a traditional lowboy where the tongue detaches and you drive up from the front. So what that means is I'm just going to make something up for the back that my crawlers can crawl up on, and I can put some lights on it. And hopefully it looks decent, so I'll let you know. So I'll be honest, it looks a lot better on camera than it does in person. I'm not 100% that that's going to be staying. It's a good little step to be able to get up on for the crawlers. I just don't know if aesthetically I like it. I was hoping for a flat spot to put, brake lights, but it's not looking all that promising. You guys will let me know. I'm going to move on from this instead of constantly thinking about it and move on to adding some extra braces. Well, guys, there you go. That is mostly a trailer. Got the deck on. Did add a bunch of extra bracing, so it seems like it's much stronger. Not strong enough for me, at least not in this configuration. Might have to do something about that, but for 3 RCs, I'm sure it'll be just fine. There you go. Comparison. How tall this trailer is standing on its end. I'm 6'2". Pretty dang big trailer. Well, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Trailers are pretty simple. I need to stop because I feel like I'm making mistakes and I feel like I'm rushing myself, and I don't want to do that. We're just gonna take a breather, clean up the absolute mess that I've created in here, and go from there. So remember, when you're making your own trailers, it can be however you want. I don't know how properly scale this is. I don't know how properly pretty this is. Will it hold a bunch of RCs and hopefully myself? Well, I just stood on it and no. But RCs, yes. The reality is that it's your trailer. You're going to do what you want. And this is what I'm going to do. So far, it's turning out how I want it. But like I said, I'm making mistakes and I need to just take a break from this. Come back another time. Fresh ideas, clear head. And then we'll get back to finishing this thing. Not a whole lot more to do with it. Basically just clean everything up, make it look good, probably paint it. So next week, keep going with this. This is the hard part of the whole build with everything, is that everything needs to basically just be finished, and it's all the little things. And it's trying to make videos for you guys on doing all this. So we'll see how this all turns out, honestly. Ooh. There's a good question. How much does the trailer weigh? Because it's almost in its final form. There's a few little things that I'm going to do to it just to kind of clean it up, maybe brace it up, but let's see how much it weighs. See, once again, it's for the people who stay till the end. They get to know all this. And for all the regular people who don't stay till the end, they'll know when I do a final weigh-in on everything. Scale is zeroed out. So 16 pounds. Call it safe at 14 ounces. So I guess in reality, 17 pounds without anything, plus the truck. I haven't weighed the truck without the Zach. Or wait, yeah, I did. It was 30 pounds. So 30-pound truck plus a trailer plus whatever is loaded. It's going to be close to about 100 pounds just trying to roll down the road or trail or wherever I take this thing. It's going to get high centered everywhere. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If you would like to go a little bit further, we do have a members only. I've released videos about a day early. that also helps the channel quite a lot. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, and we will see you next week.